Hey peeps, good morning, locking down the truth with Marci Lock. So, man, this morning I'm filled with gratitude because I realized the greatness of being the creator of my life and being able to make the decision of what my day gets to look like, what my life gets to look like, and realizing how literally every single day, and why people are on the path they're on is because it could go two ways. So, like, for instance, last night, I was just feeling off. I was feeling a lot of emotion. And so I got to ask myself the right questions and go, what am I really feeling? What's really going on? And this is one of the things that most people bypass is getting clear with learning to ask themselves the right questions to become conscious in the moment. Instead, we just act unconsciously, or we go into a subconscious state of going to patterns or behaviors to find comfort, to ignore what's really going on, and based on past decisions that we've made even from the time we were little. And so instead, asking myself the right questions, what's really going on, I got to realize that I was just I'm in this state where I've set some new pretty big intentions, and stepping through the next level of comfort for me, a next comfort zone, as to my belief systems, to the life that I really believe that I deserve and that I can have, and that was like so far-fetched for me, obviously years and years ago, and it's how my life has just progressed, because it's progression, not perfection, and how my life has, as I've continued to confront these root beliefs and these not only belief systems, but perceptions and things, that to get to look at that and go, get clear of where that came from or what I really want instead, and always moving forward. My life's freaking fantastical. My life's amazing. I have the most rockin' amazing life that is so different from what I ever believed that I could have. But yet again, I still continue to always expand and always grow and always receive more and more of a greater, more amazing life. And so it's like I've set out these intentions for some pretty big things that were extremely far-fetched for me in the past. And now I'm just on the verge of now accepting and receiving and having this as my ideal ultimate life. And I realize there's obviously fear there, and emotions want to come up to say, oh no, this is hard, or you have never had this in the past, or this has been the past experience, and try to prove to myself that that's true, versus realizing that this in front of me is not that from the past, and that this in front of me is always my choice of what direction I want to go. And I realize how if I didn't have these conscious tools to look at what the root beliefs were, or where these things came from, and be aware of what I'm feeling, not just bypass it and go straight to either like ignore what I'm really feeling and just say something positive, or not even be conscious of it, then I wouldn't allow myself to go, okay, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Now, what's more important is, what do I really want in my life? What do I want to create to be my experience? And now, what is my new belief and perception to move towards that? And what's my action for that? And how do I feel and believe that? And go for that. And if I didn't have these conscious tools, why I'm in such gratitude for this, is if I didn't have these conscious tools, then my life would still be shit. And I would still be experiencing, limited finances, barely able to survive, and a body that I was constantly fighting and battling, and had to be validated and look a certain way, and living in a mask, and just all the things that my life experience was because I wasn't conscious. And that's the total thing, is becoming conscious in each moment to make the decision. So it's like, if I didn't understand this, my path would be staying on a path of a shitty life. And instead, because I become aware what's going, if I'm not experiencing awesomeness, then it's a red flag for me. It's an action signal to look at the feeling, what's really going on there that's creating that, and now it's feedback. What do I want to do? What do I get to do to move forward? And so it just makes me more aware of how I'm on the verge of my comfort zone, of stepping into a new experience, and how I get to make those choices and actions to go down this other path, the path of a more amazing life, and literally accepting everything that I want, and getting more clear of what I want as I go. And so even one of my clients that I was coaching yesterday, she had an amazing week the week before. Is feeling such peace and freedom with her body, and body shifting to where there's no cravings. You feel awesome. Everything you want is good for your body, and you're a fat burning machine. Turning that in and learning to shift perceptions and thoughts, and then all of a sudden she falls off the bandwagon last week and has this really hard week, and literally chose to not want to go conscious. And it's like, And it all comes down to when something shows up. Do I become conscious of it and allow myself to look at it to give myself freedom, or do I stay in the suffering? And so it was a great growth experience, and this is why the having a coach and accountability is so important, is because when you want to quit on yourself, you're not going to get to. Someone else gets to say, come on, let's look at this, let's choose what we really want, and let's move past this barrier and knock it down so it never happens again. And then it's an amazing learning experience to move forward. But it all comes down to, in each moment, you become conscious. Conscious of what you're choosing. You're either conscious you're staying in suffering, or conscious that you're going to give yourself freedom. And so I am so grateful, because I realized how last night I got to look at it. I got to become aware of what I was feeling, why that was, where it came from. I got to decide what I do want to have, because I even know how important it is when I shut down at night. Whatever thoughts are in my brain are going to be soaking my subconscious mind all night, saying this is what you want. And I wanted to end my day in those good feelings, and I got to get up today and create my life, and now I'm like, awesome. I'm more inspired to prove to myself and create the new evidence of what I want, and that it is possible, and allow these things to show up instead of stopping them, blocking them, sabotaging them, because my deep belief system that it feels, sometimes we think it's easier to shrink back in fear, but I want you to question that. Is it really? Is it really easier to shrink back in fear? Some people say ignorance is bliss, but that's why 99% of the population lives in a place where they're not experiencing what they want. Why 19 out of 20 people do not get what they want is because they choose to shrink back when they see the fear and the evidence, which just is your fantasized evidence appearing real, or your false evidence appearing real, instead of moving through that comfort zone and realizing what you want can be there, and that is true, and look for that. So that's my intention today, is go rock it out now. I'm super inspired and ready to create, and I'm just full of gratitude that God gave me the choice to be the creator of my life, and that every moment I get to be conscious and create the life that I want. So this is Marci Lock reminding you, power of choice is yours. Go lock it down and choose your best life.